Hello and welcome. This time I'll try refining some silver from these bars made of contact blocks from large contactors and circuit breakers. I have no idea how many percent silver the bar contains, but we can figure it out by weighing it before and after refining. In addition to silver, the bars contain a lot of brass, used to solder the contact blocks onto the copper parts. And I'm also convinced that there will be a certain amount of copper present if the temperature got too high during heating. We start by melting the silver bar and dripping the liquid metal into a metal bucket of cold water. I do this to turn the metal into granulates and achieve a much larger surface area so the acid can more easily dissolve it. However, I found out that the bucket needs to be somewhat deeper, otherwise it still melts together under the water. But I managed to find enough loose granulates to make a 52 gram sample for a smaller test before potentially diving into a large batch. I dry the silver granulates to get an accurate weight and to avoid mixing regular tap water into the experiment. I pour 200 milliliters of demineralized water into the silver granulates. And now it's time to move the experiment to the fume hood I built before starting. Then I add 150 milliliters of nitric acid very slowly. The liquid changes color from a clear liquid to blue, and after some time we will see a brown-yellow gas rising from the container. This is very toxic and should never be inhaled under any circumstances. Sooner or later I place a glass lid over the container so minimal liquid evaporates. I let it sit for several hours until the liquid has dissolved all of the metal. I filter the solution so we don't get impurities in our future silver, hopefully ending up as close to 100% pure silver as the final product. I use a regular coffee filter for filtration. Now I pour new demineralized water into a container to dilute the solution, and will then place pieces of copper into the liquid, which will be dissolved by the liquid and make the silver come out of the solution and settle at the bottom like gray cement. When I think all of the silver has left the solution and it has precipitated, I carefully pour most of the liquid off and pour the rest through a filter to catch the silver cement and rinse it with the demineralized water until the liquid becomes clear. I can now dry the cement and melt it into metallic form, and we now have 99% pure silver. The conclusion in my case is quite cumbersome to deal with. The price of chemicals is quite expensive, and it takes quite a long time and involves quite a few steps that requires waiting. It was a project I wanted to try, and it was cool to see the liquid react exactly as expected. Will I do it again? Probably not. I'll probably explore the option for refining large amount of silver through melting instead. The plan, however, is still to create an electrolytic copper refining cell and use the liquid from this experiment for that. What are your thoughts on the way to do this? Drop me a message down below with your answers, and until we meet again, goodbye.
I just wanna have fun, turn around now, turn around now. I just wanna have fun, turn around now.